There it is. We're live. And we're recording. And mics are hot. Welcome back to episode number 16 of Don't Hate the Podcast. What is today? Saturday, May 9th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Mark Money, and every week here on twitch.tv/Don't Hate the Podcast, we're going to give you our thoughts and opinions on games and gaming culture. And with me this week is the incomparable Pop That Baby Maker.
Hey, what's up?
You get the golf clap from me because I'm the only one here. Mike's joining us in spirit because it's his anniversary today. So happy anniversary, Killer Metal Mike. What's up, man? How you doing?
Just chilling, man. You know, living life.
What's the temperature down there?
Dude, it was cold yesterday. It was like 58 degrees.
Oh, was it cold?
It's freezing.
It snowed here today. May 9th.
That's insane.
It snowed. The sun was shining. We went for a nice walk today around the neighborhood. It was chilly. It was like almost 50 degrees, and the wind was blowing, made it feel like 36. So
that's crazy. It is 73
in the sunshine state of Florida.
Yep. I couldn't imagine it snowing in May.
Yeah, it did.
Is that like a crazy abnormal thing, or like it just happens sometimes?
Nah, man, I see people all over the internet getting crazy about it, saying, "Oh my God, it's May and it's snowing," and I'm like, okay. So my question is, how long have you lived in New England? So for anybody who's watching or maybe watching later, I live in New England. It's the northeastern part of the United States. I'm in Connecticut in particular, but just think like New York metropolitan area, tri-state area. And I've lived here my whole life, and so it's always done this. It's always just been like, oh yeah, it's nice and spring. Here's spring. It's here, and it's nice, and birds are chirping, and flowers are blooming, and all the trees are, you know, they're not bare anymore. So you look into the woods, and it's like dense again. And then on a day like today, the sun was shining bright, and then it just started snowing. I'm like, there's not even clouds where this is coming from. It's probably like, who knows what's going on. It was super windy. Could have been like snowing somewhere and being blown over to. Anyway, yeah, it was. Yeah. But no, it's not that big of a phenomenon. I think, and I always say this, that maybe, just maybe, when we came up with the seasons and we came up with the Gregorian calendar that we all still use to this day.
Yeah.
It's like 364 and a quarter days, or 365 and a quarter days. Mm-hmm. So that's why every 4 years we have a leap year, and we have that extra day on the calendar in February. So maybe from all this time of like not having have it actually be perfect, like it's just been shifting little by little every year, and maybe it's not even really spring yet. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just having really warm winter days, and somebody just got it fucked up. That's my theory. That's my very unscientific theory. Blizzard out of nowhere. Sorry, I have to not read the chat. Anyway, so yeah, patch notes for this episode. Not too much, but I added social media buttons down below, I guess, if you're watching on Twitch. So that'll take you to the YouTube, which all the episodes, as soon as we're done recording, they now instantly get pushed to YouTube. So that's the main thing I think to be pushing here. Not to be pushing, but just to let people know is that you can listen later on YouTube. So everything's going to be put to youtube.com/Don't Hate the Podcast. Same thing for Instagram and Facebook, and Twitter's Don't Hate the Pod, at Don't Hate the Pod. So there's that. And then the other thing is that there's a question box now. So if you're watching live, or even if you just come to the Twitch, and we're not live, the question box will still be there. you can submit a question. If it gets approved by one of the moderators of the channel, then it becomes, a question on the list, and it can then be upvoted or downvoted. So the better questions will be up at the top of the list, and that's how that's going to work. So that's the patch notes. What have you been playing? Tell me all about it. Pop that baby maker.
I haven't been playing much, to be honest. I played some more Valorant. Like, I don't have really much to say, like, more about it. Just, I don't know. I'm having fun with it.
It's like what all the kids are playing these days.
If you got a beta key, like, that's the one where you had to, like, wait in a stream and, like, randomly get chosen to, and it was only on Twitch. So, like, yeah. But I don't know. I've been having fun with it. It's fun. I can see myself continuing to play it. I did jump in for like maybe an hour yesterday to Fortnite because they had they've came up with a brand new game mode called Party Royale, and it's essentially a new map that you go into, and there's no guns, there's no building, you're just there. There's like fun little challenges you can do on the map, but that's where they're going to hold all of their like
concerts now,
in-game events.
Yeah.
So yesterday was like the kickoff of that. So they had Dylan Francis, Steve Aoki, and Deadmau all three do sets back to back to back.
Wait a minute. Wait, Dylan Francis is an artist?
Yeah, he's like a EDM.
What's with all these artists where
DJ or whatever?
Their artist name is just two first names? Like, when I hear that dude Travis Scott, I'm like, wait, is that like every time I heard it, like, I know
actual names.
I know he's a rapper now, like Travis Scott, but every time I heard that name, I'm like, is that like a motocross, like a freestyle motocross rider? I feel like that's what that is. What am I thinking of? Travis Pastrana?
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just always hear it. I'm like, that's got to be a dirt bike guy, right?
Yeah.
So EDM, I don't know,
like,
okay.
I'm not like super into that. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here like I have Dylan Francis on my playlist, but like, it was just really. It's like those when they do that type of stuff. It's just one of those things where like I feel like even if you don't like the person that's like playing or whatever, like it's like the event itself is so much fun, and it's kind of like this like shock factor where you're like, why isn't any other game doing this? And is it like, are they not capable of it? Is it like a money thing? Like, I don't know, but it's crazy. Like,
they're not doing that, but Animal Crossing. Have you heard this about this guy Gary Whitta? He's on Kind of Funny's shows on Wednesdays.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he co-wrote Star Wars Rogue One. Right.
Yeah.
And what he's doing with Animal Crossing now? He started. So he started his own, basically like a late night talk show that exists within Animal Crossing, and I haven't checked it out yet, so I'm maybe getting this wrong. But he has guests come on, and they built like a set, so maybe he is streaming himself, and whoever's on is streaming themselves too. But it's like their Animal Crossing characters are also hanging out, I think.
Gotcha.
But he's like starting to get like legit celebrities. Like I have to look up the list, and maybe I'll pull that up later. But I know that they're like, I heard him say recently he's working on getting that chick AOC to come sit down in his Animal Crossing talk show on YouTube. I'm like, that's fucking unbelievable.
That is.
You're getting that reach, and it's happening within this game, Animal Crossing, which, more and more people who don't know anything about video games I'm talking to lately that are just like, oh yeah, Animal Crossing. It's becoming like part of the lexicon. You know what I mean? People are they know what it is. Even if they don't know what it is, they know it exists. It makes me want to buy it. I'm that's the so far the most compelling reason that I've wanted to buy Animal Crossing. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably going to. I mean, these are just facts.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you've been playing that Valorant, and have you picked up Animal Crossing at all lately? You said Fortnite, Valorant.
I'm kind of like you can just always expect me to be playing Animal Crossing. Like, that's just a mainstay in my life now.
Yeah, you were super hype about that.
Yeah, I picked that up and play it every night before I go to sleep. But the other game that I wanted to talk about was so I've been going through my like retro games,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a bunch of PS1 games that like I've been meaning to get to that I haven't tried. So I kind of started that this week, where I played. It is called No One Beats Mr. Domino,
Okay,
and
I've
it
never heard of
is,
that.
I believe that's the name.
Give me 1 second. There's one thing I
Yep,
forgot to
yep,
do, but
yep.
you can keep going.
No One Can Stop Mr. Domino. Sorry,
Okay.
that is the name of it.
Hold on.
But yeah, this is like a fun little. It almost reminds me of a mobile game, uh, where it's essentially like you start a level and your character just always like moves. He's always like running forward or like sometimes in a circle. But it's kind of like a
Mr.
puzzle.
Domino. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I missed it.
No, I was just explaining. It's kind of like a imagine like a mobile like runner game where like you
Okay.
start a level and like you're a little domino piece and you get to it's pretty cool. You get to pick like if you want to be a girl domino or a boy domino. So Mr. or Mrs. Domino, and then you get to customize your domino piece itself. Like you can pick like how many numbers
This sounds like Cyberpunk
that you
level of
have. Yeah, right.
customization.
And then you start out a level, right? And it just go, and your domino starts running, and then it's basically like a kind of like a puzzle, like running game where you're just running and you have to like dodge certain things, or like you may like run over a boost ability that makes you go faster, or like will increase the amount of dominoes that you have, or so, whatever. It's like a little like puzzle level by level game. Um, it was fun. I've never played it before. I never heard it. Apparently, it's like uh, semi like hard to find. But yeah, like it was a fun game. And then in the
Wait, this is PS1? I'm sorry, I was
yeah,
messing
PS1.
with settings, but this Domino game actually sounds kind of cool. So you like it?
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. I haven't like I think there's only like five. There's like five worlds or whatever sub levels.
Yeah.
Or there's five levels, and then each level has like sub levels.
What's the
Um,
the name one more time?
no one can stop Mr. Domino.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm I see. I've got some
Um,
gameplay here. Oh wow!
yeah.
Look at what?
Like I've never seen anybody play it before. I don't even know where I got it from, but like it was fun. It was a fun little experience there. Um, but
there, do this, and let's just take a look at this game real quick.
yeah,
It looks amazing.
yeah. So you just run, and there's like pieces that boost you, and
What's the pieces that he's dropping?
so that's like an ability that you get, I believe. Like he ran over something that lets you leave a trail, and I think if you die, like
Wait, do you get to
well,
watch the dominoes fall after?
no,
Ah,
not that I've seen, because you don't always have that. See, like now he doesn't have it. It's only when you do certain things. So, well, I guess in this level, it seems like you do.
yeah. I mean, a game
watch
about
the domino.
dominoes. If you didn't get to watch the this, so you said this is like hard to find or uncommon?
Like, I mean, there's a ton of them for sale, but from what I could find, it's like a game that's like you're not just going to like casually stumble across this in like
Yeah.
a,
So
a retro store or something.
uncommon game.
Yeah, but it's not like super expensive. Like I was seeing like you could get it for like 15-20 bucks.
You giving this a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a thumbs
Yeah,
sideways?
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It was fun. Yeah, see the little ball thing rolls down.
This
and
looks like,
that's the end of the level.
you know, it's rudimentary sort of like 3D graphics, but it looks pretty good. I mean, like for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have given the domino arms and legs, but I guess it is like some Mr. Domino, right? You can't stop
Yeah.
Mr. Domino. It's called.
Yeah, no one stops.
Oh,
Mr.
no
Domino.
one stopped. No one can
Yeah.
stop Mr.
No one
Domino.
can stop Mr. Domino.
Oh, wow, look at these billiard ball physics. Hey man, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. So like sometimes you have to like in this little video that you saw, sometimes you have to go through the level a few times because you have an end goal to clear the stage. It's like, knock over a pool ball or whatever, and so like you might have to go through the level a few times to figure out how to do that. So there's like a puzzle element to it, but yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that.
And then inside of the copy, like I have the case and everything. Inside of the case, behind the manual, like I take it out and I feel like there's something moving back there. So I pull out the manual and there's a demo disc for Tomba
Oh, cool.
for the PS1. So I popped
Yeah.
that in as well. Actually, a really good demo, like for a demo. Like it's clearly a demo. It says demo disc on it. Like for a
Yeah.
demo, it gives you like quite a bit of the game. It seems like I played it for like 45, 50 minutes, and I still have some left, and I never like got stuck in an area or anything. So like it gives you a big chunk of the game. I feel like, and that game like I don't know. It's whatever. It's like a
Yeah, PS1 demos were the best. They
like
really were like a big chunk of game.
yeah.
But I don't know how big of a game Tomba was, but I know that game's pretty uncommon, right?
I have no idea. I didn't even know there was one on the PlayStation 1. I've only seen like speed runs of the Nintendo 64 one.
I'm looking at No One Can Stop Mr. Domino for PS1 on eBay right now. Buy it now, complete in box for $20. So
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't expensive to buy, but from what I could find
see
online,
one-
it seemed that it was
I see a
hard to find.
sealed copy for $80.
But that demo was fun. Like the art style is really cool. I don't have a ton to say about that game because it's like very early. Like it's like a 2D platformer, but like you can move the camera a little bit, and there is some
Tomba?
depth. Yeah, Tomba.
Yeah, Tomba. I'm looking at right here. There's an active bid on eBay for complete black label version of Tomba.
Mhm.
It's got 2 days left, and it's got 30 bids, and it's at $132.
Yeah.
So that's one to.
But
keep
yeah,
an
that
eye
game
out for.
that game was fun. It kind of reminded me of like if Mario 64 was a 2D game, like there's just random like platforms in the level that like don't make sense other than to like continue on the level. It's like,
Right.
oh, this is a jungle scene, and then all of a sudden there's like a rock slab that just goes up in the air. It's like, okay, and you can move the camera a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the coolest thing about that game to me was just there's like in-game cutscenes, and they're like
Okay.
they're CG cutscenes, so they're
Okay.
like
Pre-rendered, all that stuff.
yeah, it's like you
full
you
motion
have to-
video.
you have to clear the fog to move on to the level. So you unlock an ability called Whirlwind or Hurricane or something like that. And so you go over to the fog and you use your ability, and it goes to a rendered like cutscene of this tornado like going, and it's so like goofy and cheesy but like fun at the same time. So yeah, that was a fun little like find there. I had no idea that was in
That's
there. It was
cool,
just
man. The
behind the
demo
manual,
for Tomba.
so-
You could go back to that probably and have
Yeah.
some fun with it.
Yeah, like I said, I played it for like almost an hour, and I'm not done with the demo yet. So,
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I'll probably play more of that.
Sorry, I'm mixing it up with chat here. So yeah,
What have you been playing?
I've been playing. So I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake today.
Oh, okay.
I actually woke up at like 5 just with no alarm,
Mhm.
and so
That's crazy.
Well, I don't know. It's not too far from what time I usually get up anyway. So I got up and I made coffee, and I just kind of I like to hang out in the morning, on the weekend, just kind of veg out. When I finally got situated on the couch, I popped the game on. I did kind of play all day. Me and my girlfriend went out for a walk around like 1 o'clock, and then had some lunch when we got back and watched some TV. But then I popped it back on because I was like, I know I'm at the end. I've got to roll the credits on this before the podcast, and I know I can do it. And I talked about this game the past probably 3 episodes that we've done, and you can hear all my thoughts on the previous two, which are up on YouTube at youtube.com/don't hate the podcast. But I get to the end, I'm pretty sure, based off what I know about the original game, like, and there's no spoilers here, so, but I'm like, okay, this has to be the end. I just have to, you're fighting a big boss naturally at the end of most video games, so no spoiler there, but I'm like, I know where I am. I know what the boss is probably going to be. And then it turns out that that's not what the boss that I thought I was going to face, it wasn't that boss. And it was pretty like brutal. But I got through it first try, and I'm like, okay, so maybe there's either the end is right around the corner and they changed this game substantially from the original, or like it's going to do exactly what I think it's going to do. And it did. I faced what I was expecting to be the final boss.
Yeah.
Right, like immediately after. So I'm like, okay, damn, 2 bosses back to back. Then when that thing's done, a different boss that you actually in the original game would have faced before all this, that thing comes after, and you got to fight that fucking thing. And I'm like, okay, now this is getting intense. And I'm like, well, that seems like a weird way to end it. So now I'm like, is this really not the end? So I keep playing, and like now I'm actually like leaving where I am and going to a new area. I'm like, I don't remember this from the original game at all. Then they come and drop this crazy like new thing into the game that was not part of the original, but totally fits and makes sense, and it was just a great way to wrap it up. And you do it, and you beat this, like, final boss. Man, yeah, that game was so fun. And my game clock was at 55 hours when I was done, which is, that's not new for me, but that's new for me for a long time. Have I got a game and played it that much until I beat it? The last game that I did that much, dedicated playing was probably God of War.
Yeah.
So,
but overall, like, happy with the the whole package?
Yeah, I could tell you all the bullshit. Like, the voice acting is cringy at times, but it's anime, so I don't know, like, people who are fans of anime, I guess they're either, like, numb to that, or they actually do like it. Like, I don't like it. I'm not... Like, I like the content. I could enjoy anime, but I'll never enjoy the way that the American actors sound. It's just like, it's always weird. Like, what kind of direction are you getting? I'll never understand it. But anyway, the fighting, the materia slotting, like the upgrading, it's all great. The traversal is what it is. You're being funneled through a story, so you're not. It's I don't even want to say it's not wide linear either. It's like there's a very clear. It's not even clear which way you should go, but it's like you've got 2 directions you can go. Try one. If it's not that, come back. There's a lot of little side areas that you can roam off to, and and sometimes they reward you with a treasure chest or like something on the ground.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's nothing. Like that's my biggest gripes, I feel like, is the the voice acting, like I said, the kind of ability to roam around but not for really much reward. Like, the reward you get is seeing how detailed some of the environments can be. But then you see some of the NPCs and it's like they look like PS2 graphics, and I'm not even joking. So but it's not about that. That's how the original game was too. Like, they don't put a lot of effort into the minimal shit. Like, the main characters is where they spent the money. So anyway, I loved it. I'm going to play again on hard. I'm going to go back and collect all the stuff that I missed. And I'm going to try and beat every chapter on hard, because that's one of the trophies. And I think I might try and platinum that game. Because
I was going to ask, because, like, it isn't a big thing. I'm not, like, too familiar. I haven't played a ton of Final Fantasy games, but isn't, like, the thing about Final Fantasy games is, like, once you beat it and you go back and beat it on, like, the hardest difficulty, whatever that is, if you're saying it's hard, like, don't you then like get like I feel like isn't like for the Final Fantasy thing is like once you beat the game on hard, it unlocks like a new game mode that you can play through that gives you other things that you wouldn't have normally
I'm
gotten.
not so sure if they started doing that kind of thing in the more recent Final Fantasy games or not, but in the in the original Final Fantasy 7, when you finish the game, you can still just go explore the world. There was no like harder
Gotcha.
mode. And as a matter of fact, anywhere that you go at that after
Hmm.
beating the story, you're so
Yeah.
like super leveled that you don't really die anymore. But there are like super bosses that you could go and try and fight that will usually fuck you up. So there is that. But like my recent playthroughs of that game, I'm like leveling myself up before I ever even get close to the end of the game and
Yeah.
going and taking out all those super bosses. Like they're called weapons, and there's like 3 of them that are just insane, and they're
Hmm.
just massive amount of hit points. But if you beat them before you get to the end of the game, you get like cool items that you can use at the end of the game, and it really makes the end of the game just like like a hot knife through jello. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
easy. So, but yeah, there's replay value in it. And it's just
Mhm.
like, when am I going to find the time though? Because I do have other stuff that I've been playing or wanting to play. I've been thinking about getting like really getting into Black Flag, which I never did. And I've just keep
Oh,
everybody's
great.
talking about Assassin's Creed these days, and everybody
Yeah.
keeps talking about how great Black Flag was. So I'm like, I'm doing myself a disservice if I don't go and play it. So I
Yeah.
just maybe I'll come back to Final Fantasy 7. Maybe I'll play through it again, like when they start hyping up the next entry, because it's going to be episodic.
Hmm.
So I don't know, but I've also this is a weird one. I've been playing Forza Street for the phone,
Oh, okay.
and
How's that?
I expected it to be like really good, like those what's the game, Asphalt. It's like a phone game, but it's racing. It was
I
like
don't know.
so it started off as like one of the first mobile racing games that
Yeah.
was actually good. It was kind of like Need for Speed on the phone. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
but they couldn't call it Need for Speed, so it was called
Yeah.
Asphalt
Yeah.
Racing. And I think the most recent one that I played was last year. It was Asphalt 9, and I was just bored. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
these games are always fun, but they were cool because you touch the right side of the screen for gas and the left side for brake, and then you tilt your phone to steer, like Mario
Yeah.
Kart for the Wii, which was so fun. And these games were pretty good. And you had like, you tap in the middle or swipe up, I think, to do like nitrous.
Hmm.
So that's what I expected from this Forza Street, because with a name like Forza, who makes like incredible racing games,
Yeah.
I just expected it to be good. And it's not that it's bad, but it's just a different type of game. Like, think Need for Speed Underground, where you had to do like the drag races.
Hmm.
So you have to kind of like feather the gas before the race starts to get the needle in the sweet spot. So
Yeah.
there's yellow, which if you're in the yellow, whatever, it's a good start. But if you manage to get it in the green, it's a perfect launch. But if you go past the green and you're in the red,
Yeah.
it's a fucked up burnout. You know what I mean? And after that, you just hold your finger down on the gas pedal, and to brake, you release it. But you don't ever brake. There's the only time you brake is around a corner, and it's got markers on the ground, so it's like
Yeah.
it'll
To let
turn
you know.
yellow to let you know, like, okay,
Mhm.
let go here, and it's like good brake or perfect brake or early brake or late brake. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
you have early, late, good, great, and perfect that you could get for braking into a turn and gassing out of a turn. And
Yeah.
then you have another button for nitrous. So, but it doesn't stay in like the race view. It doesn't make you feel like you're racing.
Yeah.
It's in like this cinematic view, so the camera's always changing. Like, you're outside the car, you're on the hood of the car, you're inside the car, and it's like,
Okay.
this fucking
And you don't
sucks.
control the camera at all?
You don't
It
control the
just,
camera or the steering, so it's like there's no steering. It's just
yeah.
so boring. You're just like watching very shit. It looks like PSP graphics of like this,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was playing it because I was like, somebody told me about it. It's free. I like cars. I'm into like street racing as a concept, and I figured I would try it and give it, But so I'm giving that a sideways thumb because it's like not the worst thing I've ever played, but it's got so much potential. It just doesn't. It's like that Mario Kart Tour game. It came out and it's like, what the fuck is this? You guys had one job, and you gave us this shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
That kind of sucks.
Actually, I would totally crap on Mario Kart Tour. Fuck that game.
Yeah.
And that Dr. Mario one wasn't fun either. Like, all you had to do was give us Dr. Mario. You guys made the fucking pills float upwards, and it was so
Dr.
stupid.
Mario seems like the perfect game for mobile. Like, out of all of them, that one is like the one you can't mess up somehow.
They did.
But,
They messed it up. I've been chipping away here and there at Celeste.
Okay.
That's kind of just like what I pick up the Switch and I'll just be like, this thing looks like it'll be fun. What game do I have? And I'll just land on Celeste always because I found the little 8-bit, what is it, Pico 8 or something inside Celeste, and I'm like stuck on that. I just don't even want to leave that. I've been just fucking with that for so long. I did get to a pretty challenging part of Celeste, and I put it down like kind of angry that I couldn't get past it. So we'll see when I pick that up again. I think that's about it. So we can I'll play this music again and we can get into our headlines. We got some stuff to talk about here. Here goes the sound effect. We have 8 different topics, if you will, and I'm gonna let you take the reins on this first one. Pop that baby maker. Tell me about the first headline.
We have the Inside Xbox event that happened on Thursday.
What do they call it? Xbox 2020?
No, so this is called Inside Xbox.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of this event. They also the day before, and see, this is like one of the issues I think they had with this is like they just kind of announced this out of nowhere. Like last week, I think it was on Friday, they were like, "Hey, next Thursday we're going to talk about a bunch of Xbox Series X games." Well, at the time they just said Xbox Series X games, right? And everybody started building up hype over the weekend. Oh, they're going to show off Halo. They're going to show off all these games, right? And then they came out, I think Tuesday of this past week, and we're like, well, actually, we're not going to talk about any first-party games. Sorry. So Halo, not going to be there. Like, we know you're excited for it, but we have another event coming in June that's called Xbox 2020 or whatever, and like that's where we'll talk about Halo and all those cool things that like you were thinking was going to be in this one. But don't worry, this is just going to be focused on third-party, and to ease your pain, that Assassin's Creed Valhalla that you saw last week, they're going to show off gameplay here. It's going to be sick.
Right, I'm going to let you get right back to this. Let's just real quick, let's go over the list of what they showed, because I have it right here. And let me know if I'm forgetting anything. They showed off footage from Bright Memory Infinite, Dirt 5, Scorn, Chorus, Madden 21, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Call of the Sea, The Ascent, The Medium, Scarlet Nexus, Second Extinction, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is, I think, Yakuza 7 in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, and then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So it's a lot of stuff. Oh, sorry, I pronounced that Vampire game wrong. It's Vampire : The Masquerade - Bloodlines 2. That's just a stupid punctuation joke. Okay, so go ahead. Keep giving me your thoughts on this Inside Xbox.
Well, yeah, so they've done this before, right? Like the Inside Xbox like events that they have throughout the year, they're always terrible, right? It's
Are they?
mostly,
I don't really
yeah.
watch those.
The reason why you don't watch them, and like most people have never heard of them, because they're not good.
Okay.
Like they're just the only one that's like
I feel
of
like I'm gonna
note.
watch them now, because
The only one that's of note is like they kind of turned one in November into like almost a PSX type event where it was like we're gonna invite. They usually hold it in Mexico City, and it's like we're gonna invite a bunch of people. You get to play
at a
games, right?
convention
Like
center.
yeah, like in Mexico City. That was like their one big thing. But then all the other ones were really boring. They're always really long. It's like people talking about games but not actually showing them. Like I don't know, they're just never good, right? And so like my hopes were already kind of down going into this, especially when they announced that they weren't going to have first party games there at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, like, but hey, maybe we get to see some new exciting the third party games. Like there could be a lot of stuff. E3 got canceled. There's a lot of opportunity here to show off some maybe big games, right?
You gotta
Um,
imagine that these guys, while they have some sort of a deal with Xbox, that most of these games are going to be coming to major platforms.
I think
So
all of them. I'm pretty sure all of these games are coming to
PS5.
and PC.
Well,
Yeah.
PC is kind of a given. Like even games
But
that,
also, sorry, not they're coming to Xbox. Like whatever.
yeah,
Their names are so confusing. They're coming to Xbox One and Xbox Series X.
yeah,
Series X, yeah.
all Xboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of these aren't even like I don't know. But whatever. That's besides the point, right? They get into showing the games, right? And they immediately go into the first game. And it immediately reminds me of
This
this one's
Bright
called
Memory.
Bright Memory Infinite, right? And it's a character with a gun. All you see is a gun. It's like raining. There's lots of visible wind effects, like you can see the wind blowing, leaves are blowing, it's raining, you can see the rain blowing. There's just so much going on this game. And then he starts shooting and numbers start popping up and bullets are flying everywhere and you can't even tell what he's shooting at. And it just reminded me a lot of like what's the
Borderlands.
PS no,
Oh,
what's the
oh,
PS4 the people that made Horizon?
oh,
Um,
Killzone
Killzone. The Killzone game that came out, Killzone Shadowfall.
for
It
PS4. It
reminds me
was a launch
like
game on PS4.
exactly of that game where
Yeah,
it's like,
it does.
oh, this is going to be a very generic shooter that is just there to show off the graphics for the new console.
But the interesting thing about that game is that the claim is that it's made by one guy.
Mhm. Yeah, I wrote down it. The studio is called Playism.
Mm-hmm.
Playism, and
Yeah.
so yeah, they said it was like one guy kind of came up with the idea and like made the game, and then like I think like people started to back it at some point, like um, but like he kind of constructed the whole idea and put most of the game together. Um, I don't know. This wasn't like, at least in my opinion, like I wrote down notes for every game as I was watching it. These are like
Yeah.
my first opinions, and it was
Okay.
like I put like it's a shooter, but there's too much going on. Like
See,
because
I
it was,
didn't
it
even.
was very
Yeah, you had kind of gave me a predisposition when you told me in the doc that
yeah.
it was terrible, and I was like, okay, so what was terrible about it? Was it the presentation and the way that these nerds were talking about all this stuff, or was it like what they actually showed? And from what I gathered, my opinion of the whole thing is, okay, they showed some games and it looks nice, but it's not this momentous leap into the next generation like I think everybody was kind of expecting, and it was
Yeah.
really nerdy sort of segues into everything that was kind of unnecessary. Like just show the games, you know what I mean?
To me that game, like the Bright Memory Infinite, that was the most next gen game that they showed off. Like all the other games, when like looking at them, I was like, this just looks like a PlayStation 4, Xbox
Some
One
of
game.
them
Like
look like PS3.
yeah, like, but my like when I wrote that I hated this, it's because it's not even like the games they showed off are whatever. They
Mhm.
like I wasn't excited about anything.
Yeah, it's
There's a
good.
couple
Lots
in
of
here
games
that, like,
available at launch,
yeah,
hopefully.
like it's like this next part. Like after they showed this game, a guy comes up on the screen and he starts talking about how we've heard you. We know what you guys like and don't like, and we know that you hate when games come out and they don't show gameplay. So all the games you're about to see, they're running on Xbox Series X or they're enhanced for Xbox Series X, and it's all gameplay. Let's go. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is perfect. This is like what you want,
Mm-hmm.
especially at a new console life cycle, because that's a big problem that games have is like they just show cinematic things. It's like I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
So they
my
follow
my
that up.
PS2 could do that.
Yeah, exactly. They follow that up with Dirt 5, and it was gameplay, I guess, but like not really
It was
because you never
game.
play the game like that.
It was
Like,
gameplay, but shown from the replay camera.
yeah, like they're showing like a montage of races
Yeah,
that are happening in game,
they're
so
not
it's technically
showing like they're
gameplay.
not showing the HUD. They're not showing the options. They're not showing like
Yeah,
all the
like
stuff that you actually see when you play the game. What I learned from that Dirt 5 trailer was that there were 4 previous Dirt games before it. I honestly
yeah,
didn't know that they were at 5 yet. I
I
knew that
think
they
they
had
gave
like
away 4 on PlayStation a while ago, and I was like,
no,
oh,
it was
okay.
Dirt Rally 2.0 is the
Oh,
one that they
okay,
gave
yeah,
away, which I heard is
yeah,
really good
yeah,
rallycross simulator, which I'm into it, but like okay, whatever. Good.
yeah.
Dirt 5. Like there's
And
going to
this was one too where like definitely like some of the cars I was like that looks like a Need for Speed Most Wanted on the PS2 car. Like
yeah.
doesn't look like it didn't like it wasn't
It kind of
impressive.
reminded me a little bit of that Fast and the Furious trailer, which
Yeah.
is ugh.
Especially given the fact that Xbox is going to come out with a Forza game for uh Series X, and it's going to look because that's their thing, right? Is like we make racing games that look really really good. So it's like I don't know, like
Right.
it was a
PlayStation's like
weird
we do that too. It just takes us
yeah.
7 years to make one game.
Yeah.
Xbox somehow does it in like 2.
Um so and then also on top of this, right? So that they go and they say everything's going to be gameplay, and then the first thing they show isn't, it's kind of game, it's like on the borderline. It's like okay, but then also throughout this whole thing there's this narrative that all these games are going to be smart delivery. And what smart delivery is that you can buy it on the Xbox One, right? You can buy the Xbox One version, and then at any point, like the idea of smart delivery is that once you get your Xbox Series X, the game will be playable on that. It's fine. You're good. You don't have to buy another version of the game.
And the
And so
big
like as these trailers are popping up, you have these things popping up like world premiere, Xbox Series X enhanced, smart play, and there's all these things popping up, and then also they're not really showing gameplay like they just said they were, and it's just so like, and that was my big problem with this whole thing is like there's so much happening, but they're not actually like showing like what am I looking at? Like like I just want to see the game. Like you can all of that information is cool, but like I don't need it like flashing in my face as gameplay is supposed to be because you're just taking away from what's on the screen, the gameplay that you just said that's what I want,
right.
right? And then it's like they're doing stuff to take away from that.
Yep. Yeah,
Um
I noticed that. I was like, this is kind of like grimy
yeah.
the way that they're saying that this is gameplay. And the whole smart delivery thing, like, there's a big conversation happening regarding
Yeah.
that too. Like, what does smart delivery mean? Does smart delivery mean like a texture pack upgrade, or does smart delivery mean like they make 2 different versions of the game? You buy one and you
Yeah.
get both. Like, that's a big discussion. People are arguing about it. The guys on Kind of Funny are arguing about it. This is the podcast I listen to
Yeah.
every day, so I always reference that. But I kind of disagree with Greg Miller on this one, because he's like, oh no, it makes it like look prettier for the newer system, and I don't think that's true. And my biggest like reference that I can pull from that is Shadow of Mordor, which came out on PS3 as well as the current generation of
Mhm.
consoles, right? PS3 and Xbox 360. Go look at that game on PS3 or 360. Not only does it look like it's running on like Windows 98, you know what I mean? Like choppy and screen tearing and all this shit.
Yeah.
The Nemesis system is not it's not what it is on current gen hardware. It's like it's not, if you're not familiar, like anybody watching or listening, the Nemesis system on Shadow of Mordor was a very in-depth kind of system that was happening all the time in the background, and I think like the PS3 just couldn't really handle that. The Xbox 360 wasn't really, they weren't cut out to do the computing necessary to make that all happen in real time. And I think that's a fine example of what two different versions of a game like Grand Theft Auto.
Black Flag was another one that came out. That was PS3 and PS4, and like the ship battles in the PlayStation 3 version just aren't comparable to the PS4, because it's just like the console couldn't render that many things happening at once, and the the ocean mechanics and the it just couldn't handle it. So.
Yeah, look at the console versions of Grand Theft Auto 5, right? When they first introduced first person mode, that wasn't an option on PS3 and 360. While it is all the same game, technically it's not, because some features are missing. So I think that this smart delivery is a great concept, because you're getting, it's good for the consumer, but it's bad. It's bad for the developers and the publishers. And I don't think that very many more third parties are going to be on board with that. You already saw, like, Madden had a little disclaimer pop up saying that, it'll be smart delivery for like a year.
Yeah, well, that was like the thing. Like after the fact, a lot of the games came out and were like, we're only smart delivery if you buy the game in the first 3 months, and then you have an extra 3 months to like redeem it, or it doesn't work. And like,
it almost seems like it's more of a way to get you to go buy the new system sooner than you were intending.
Because Madden was the big one. Madden was, it's smart delivery if you buy it in the first 3 months, and then you only have another 3 months on top of that to redeem it. Otherwise, it just doesn't. You just have the Xbox.
I almost want to tell EA, like, shut up. Nobody buys your game after 3 months after it comes out anyway. Yeah. It's in the bargain bin after 2 months. This next game that they showed, Scorn, I don't really want to ever play it.
What is there to play? This one to me was the worst offender of the gameplay. Like, they didn't show anything. It was a cinematic
it was a CGI monster dick coming out of a wall is what it was.
My description of this is Scorn (parentheses alien porn ?
Yeah,
because it's like, what did I just see?
You saw like a very grotesque alien dick coming out of a wall, and then like to add insult to injury, they were like, if you didn't know what was happening here, like this thing's gonna squirt out some juice now.
Like, even this description here, like on this article that you linked, like the description here sums it up way better than like what the minute trailer that they showed. It's like a terrifying horror experience. It's told in a non-linear structure, and you must explore unfamiliar world with scary discoveries. It's like, that's so much better of a job of like explaining what your game is than what they showed, because I literally got none of that.
I was watching that trailer on my lunch break at work. God forbid if somebody had walked up behind me and seen this I don't know, this really grotesque alien.
It's like
dick.
Like goo is coming out of like a tube, and then it gets sucked back in. It's like, what is like?
I had it full screen on the iPad. Like if somebody walked over and saw me looking at that, they might be like, what the fuck is that? I mean, I'm almost positive that's what they would say. I don't remember what Chorus was, but
so my description of this was some type of space flying game, because I feel like they focused on showing off this cool looking spaceship the whole time, but like they didn't really show gameplay, so I don't know what it is either. That was my biggest problem with this. Is like most of these games, I don't know what they are because they didn't actually show what the game is.
Together.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Now I remember. It reminded me of Control when I first looked at it.
Yes.
But then there's some flying. I mean, the graphics are impressive, but again, it doesn't look like anything that can't be done on current hardware. Yeah, it really doesn't. So
the next game they showed was Madden.
With Patrick Mahomes.
yeah, like take out the Patrick Mahomes stuff. The trailer that they showed off, I actually really liked. I feel like
I've
it was a
always
pretty
been
solid trailer.
kind of
Like,
impressed with what Madden continues to
yeah,
do for the football sim because that's what that is.
yeah, it was like pretty impressive. Like the trailer is that they go. It was like the tagline that Mahomes dropped was like "Never forget where you came from" or something like that, and it's like,
yeah.
yeah, super cheesy. But the trailer starts
Oh
off
yeah,
with
they show
them
all the old.
showing the like the original Madden and just going
Yeah.
through the series, and it's just kind of like I don't know. I thought it was creative. I actually really liked this trailer. That was maybe one of my favorite ones out of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, good gameplay. They actually
Yeah,
showed what
yeah.
can be considered gameplay. They showed gameplay from like many console
Mhm.
generations before it.
Yeah. But
Uh,
also, it's Madden. It's like I feel like I could show you a gameplay trailer of last year's Madden and then show you this one, and like you wouldn't really be able to tell a difference. It's like, it at this point, it's like they got football down. Like, um,
yeah.
you know, I don't know.
There's no 2K Sports football that's gonna dethrone Madden
Yeah,
anytime soon.
yeah.
I kind of forgot what Vampire looked like.
So this one I got really excited for like a quick second because I thought it was like a Batman game because it started out with these like characters hanging in a room and they got the Joker smile and
Oh
there's a guy
yeah, now I
dancing and
do remember. I
I was
was
like
actually
this
kind of
is
put off by this one.
so I actually I my description of this is great trailer, so I really like this one actually.
Yeah, so I saw that trailer though, and like that was one of the ones where I was kind of watching it and going, this looks like they're insisting on the fact that like the shocking nature of what's depicted is supposed to be enough to make this game look interesting. And I was watching, like, the graphics remind me of that game Payday 2, the heist.
Yeah,
And
yeah, the
I'm like,
graphics
this
aren't
shit looks like the character models are hollow. Like they have
yeah.
no weight to them. And I don't know, it was just that small detail that made me go like this. I don't know. What are you supposed to do? It looks like almost like gore porn in a sense. Like you're just supposed to
Yeah.
like fuck people up for the sake of like being violent. I don't know. I wasn't digging it.
So I think the thing that they went for with this trailer was that they didn't want you to know that it was vampires until the very end. Like I feel like they were trying to hide the fact that like you're a vampire. Um but the one thing I will say about this is I didn't hate the trailer. I thought it was okay. It actually showed off some gameplay like one point the like your character whoever you are it's in first person so you can't see is like fighting some like bad guys or whatever they're coming at you and you're fighting them and then like you can also jump off of buildings. It showed that. But my biggest thing with this is like so this is like Bloodlines 2, so it's a sequel. And the original game, people talk extremely highly of. It's like, oh, this is a really good game. So if they do this right, like everybody's in for a treat type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know. I'm not like I need to buy it day one, but like I'm interested. Um.
Okay.
So the next one was Call
Call.
of the Sea.
That game looks pretty.
Yeah,
It
it reminded me of Sea of Thieves a lot, like the art style.
it looked like I had this instant vibe of Sea of Thieves mixed with that game Oceanhorn.
Okay, yeah.
It looked like those two had a baby.
I also for a second thought like this is what like a 3D modern version of like Mist would look like. That just popped in my head for like a quick second.
Yeah.
Um but
I don't think as much as that other game that you said that you were playing. That one really reminded me of Myst. Last week, you were talking about some game that you were playing.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember.
That's fine. It's not important.
But yeah, like this one, it reminded me of Sea of Thieves a lot. Looks like you have like there's some type of like ocean exploration. They like hint at like a merman thing at the end. Like um, I don't know. It looked okay. Like I feel like this is like an Xbox Game Pass. I'll play it game. Like I don't know that I'm gonna go out of my way to buy it, but
Right.
um,
What's this next one? The Ascent?
the Ascent was it was like a top down like twin stick shooter.
Oh, is
type
that what
game.
this is? See,
Yeah.
I was looking away when this trailer was on, if I'm being honest, because
They
like I
had
said, I
really
was at
good.
work.
It was weird because like the cinematics and stuff that they were showing in between the game, like the gameplay didn't match at all. Like the cinematics looked very like, or like the cutscenes or whatever looked very like, oh, this is gonna be like a 3D open world type game, and then they cut to gameplay and it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
camera above, like,
Those games have the potential to be fun.
Yeah.
Is that like how Diablo plays?
I've never played Diablo, so I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, I've played games like this before. Usually it's, Marines or something, you got guns,
Yeah.
but this looks like a cyberpunk world kind of
Yeah.
post not yeah, I guess post-apocalyptic in a way, or what's the word that I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but it looks all right. That game, the next one was we're taking forever on this list.
Yeah.
The medium. I know it's not your fault. The medium was
The Medium was the one that
it's like give or
like
take.
Pregnant girl in a church,
yeah.
and then like she runs out and she's like randomly bleeding, and then there's a guy smoking a cigarette for no reason. They didn't show off much gameplay. I thought actually the more interesting part was after the fact when they were talking to the developers. The guy dropped that like this is the same team that's
Silent Hill.
Like they worked on Silent Hill and more recent horror games that are pretty good. Like I can't remember the name off the top of my head of the series, but like
the Blair Witch Project, right? Isn't that?
It was. There's another one that they said they worked on, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. But those are pretty solid games. It's not my type of like. If I'm gonna play like a scary game, I like it to be more like make sense. Like there's like some type of story or something where like like the type of games that they've made seem to just be like we're going for the weird horror type thing where it's just like
very shocking.
Like it's like but I don't know, they didn't show a ton of gameplay, so it's kind of hard to like talk about it. It seemed very cinematic to me, so I don't know.
This Scarlet Nexus game looks like it appeals very much to a very specific demographic.
It's a Bandai Namco game. It's very anime. Like I literally my description for that is very anime. Funny enough,
you heard it here first, folks. It's a anime game.
I have a friend who the second I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this friend would love this game because he really likes anime and like he's into that type of stuff." So it's like
he's got a friend.
Yeah,
totally not you, right?
No, definitely not.
The headline for Second Extinction, which is another game that they showed, says hunt mutant dinosaurs in Second Extinction for Xbox Series X. So I mean,
I put Jurassic Park with guns.
Not Turok, spiritual successor.
It actually came off more like that Ark game that's on PC that everybody talks about, where it's like,
but there's no guns in Ark.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like with guns, like it's just like
Ark with guns. Okay.
Definitely not my type of game, but
yeah,
to each their own. I guess.
It looks like they got a lot of jump scares trying to happen, but then you get used to it, and I don't know. I don't really want to kill dinosaurs. Like if I could go back and see dinosaurs, I would want to just kind of look at them.
I want to ride one.
They showed Yakuza. It looked very much like Yakuza.
Dude, this is so funny because my description of this was Yakuza, like a dragon, looks like Yakuza.
Yeah, it actually looks like it would probably be really fun. I never played a Yakuza game once.
So they're supposedly like very like like Japanese
GTA, but with like but with like a emphasis on the fighting. I thought.
Yeah. I think it's more like more like close quarters combat than like shooting guns and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. That might be good. Like that's coming to other places though, so it's like I don't need to go get an Xbox for this.
And then we got half a second of gameplay in the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Literally
trailer.
Didn't show anything. Like this was so.
Like again, no HUD, no like traversal, kind of no cool.
Nope. And
like rolling and dodging and
see, that's my thing. Is
combat
like
and this and that.
I was telling you last week that the thing about Assassin's Creed is the two most recent ones were very, very similar as far as combat goes and like traversal and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm kind of like, after playing two, 60-hour games of those, like, I don't know that I want another one. And like them not going out of the way to show like how this is different kind of gives me the feeling that it's just going to be more of the same, just a different setting. And so it's like,
And it
I don't
is
know.
cross platform or cross generation, right? Like it's gonna be.
Yeah, this is going to be a PlayStation 4, 5, and Xbox One with Xbox Series X enhanced.
I really, that's the worst part about the Xbox is that you have to say all these different words and everything when PlayStation's just like, yeah, it's for the 4 and for the 5.
But yeah, that was the Xbox event. The
All right, that was a fucking
Xbox.
that was a chore to get through there. So anyway, let's move on from Xbox into let me pull this up here. There's a new trailer for The Last of Us, and we're all gonna watch it together. So if you, I was doing media blackout originally. Hold on, there we go. This one there. Yeah, I was doing media blackout for Last of Us 2 when it first got announced, and I was like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to read anything. I remember I read one like fan theory of something that could possibly happen, and I was like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't even want that idea in my head. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna watch trailers officially released by Naughty Dog. So I have still managed to not see anything.
Yeah.
Spoiler wise, that's been leaked for Last of Us 2. And I will consume stuff released by Naughty Dog. I trust those guys to not do like the Hideo Kojima thing and like show the end of the game in the trailer. So let's hop over to the media screen and we'll watch the latest trailer for The Last of Us 2. This dropped when? When did this?
Tuesday or Wednesday?
Anyway, it's old news by now, but here it is.
I think it was Tuesday morning.
And there we go. Some volume too.
I know you wish things were different.
Audio listeners, it's footage from The Last of Us 2.
I wish things were different.
Music by Gustavo Santaolalla.
The music's great.
But they ain't.
The graphics are phenomenal.
Please stop.
Can't wait to play this optimized for PS5.
Yeah.
Not cross-buy. You know they're not going to do it. Oh, so many people. So many people just got mad.
Yeah.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they
Tommy?
just get to get away with this.
How'd you find us?
Yeah, this shit looks like it's going to be intense.
Yeah.
It really looks like it's going to be intense.
You want?
See, now the hype's starting to get real. Because I watched this, but I didn't really look at it the way I'm looking at it. And this is... Whew.
I really hope you make it.
Did I see Ellie wielding an axe?
I have to finish it.
I think she did have an axe, yeah.
There's a cost.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
Ugh. It looks so good.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I don't really want to pick it apart. I don't want to get any ideas in my head. It's just the gameplay, like what they're showing as, for gameplay.
Hmm.
Just, it looks like it's gonna be one of those on the edge of your fucking seat, and when some shit starts going down, like, you know how you play a game and you play it, I don't know, half a dozen times, and like when crazy parts that kind of like caught you off guard the first time, you just kind of sit there and you with the controller and it's like, yeah, push the button, whatever, do like something else with your other hand. This looks like it's gonna lead to some great moments where you're just like, oh shit, start fucking like going nuts on the controller. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that. I think it's gonna be a personal day from work that Friday. Yeah, I should probably have that one beat in the weekend if it's possible. They're saying like a 30-hour game, right?
Have they said? I
don't
they
think
just
they've
said
said
that
it,
it's going to be
the
it's
longest.
their biggest game by far. Is what they've
Yes.
said.
Okay, so even if it's a 20-hour game, like I think I can get that done. I did Uncharted 4 in like, I don't know, 5 days, and that was with streaming every second of it.
Yeah. See, I thought about streaming this like
I'm
a
not.
while ago, but now that there's been so much, it's like no, that's the first. There's going to be people in Twitch chat just coming in.
Yeah.
I saw these things online. I hope you have a nice day, and then just leave. Like,
I'm not doing it.
yeah,
If I stream that game, it'll be
after the fact.
it'll be from the PS4 with chat turned completely off. I won't even be talking to anybody. If you want to if you want to get me to say stuff on stream, you just text me personally. You know what I mean? Fuck that. But it's like, why? Why do I want anybody watching me play that game? I just want to enjoy it. It's like it's the holy grail. Yeah. So, moving on. Number 3 on the list of headlines. I sometimes forget that we're doing a live show here. Cyberpunk 2077. They've got their ESRB rating, and it's very fun to read. And I think I'm just going to read some. Did you read the whole thing?
Yeah.
There's some
good lines in here.
Yeah. So, right off the bat, it's got the 17 plus mature rating for blood and gore, intense violence, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, and use of drugs and alcohol. So, pretty basic stuff there. Then the rating summary. Jeez. It goes on to kind of describe the game. It's a first-person RPG shooter in which players assume the role of a mercenary named V, trying to make their way through the open world of Night City. Now, I knew that the place was called Night City, but I didn't know that the protagonist was named V. I learned something from this. Did you know that?
I didn't.
So,
I want to say. I think you can change that.
So players can explore futuristic locations, interact with citizens, perform missions, and engage in combat to complete various objectives within a storyline. Still pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
Then we start getting into why it's got the mature rating. Characters use handguns, machine guns, rifles, and explosives during frenetic firefights with humans and cybernetically enhanced enemies. Players can also use melee weapons, for example, wrist-mounted blades and enhanced limbs, to stab enemies and, in some cases, dismember them. Combat is frenetic with frequent gunfire, cries of pain, explosions, and blood splatter effects. Some locations depict mutilated corpses with open chest cavities and/or exposed organs and entrails. During one quest, players assist the character by hammering nails through his hands and feet. Screaming sounds and blood effects accompany the scene. Oh boy, I can't wait. The game contains nudity and sexual material. Players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization, and this is the one that really set the internet ablaze the other day. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals. Players can encounter events where they have the option to engage in sexual activities with other main characters or prostitutes. These brief sex scenes, from a first-person perspective, depict partially nude characters moaning suggestively while moving through various positions. Some scenes contain brief depictions of thrusting motions. Other scenes depict a character's head moving towards a partner's crotch. The game contains... This is from the Electronic Software Ratings Board, by the way. The game contains frequent depictions and references to fictional drugs, including characters taking puffs or hits from a state-altering inhaler/stimulant. An animated billboard ad depicts a man snorting speed. Some sequences allow the player to drink alcoholic beverages repeatedly until the screen distorts. Player's character can also drive cars while drunk. And then, to top it all off, the words fuck and cunt appear in the dialogue. So,
That's great.
yeah, this game sounds like just a blast. I mean, how can it not be fun? The problem I think that we're going to run into is with a description like that, when this 17 plus mature rated game gets into the hands of little Johnny, who's 12 or 13, and he's in there customizing his genitals. What's gonna happen when his mom walks in and says, "Oh, what are you playing?" Oh my God. What are you playing?
Another thought I had is because this is obviously going to be a huge release game. Like, how do you get around some of that stuff? You just can't stream to people on any platform. So it's
Right.
How do you get around that? I guess you just, because if you don't know, if it's your first time playing, how do you know when you're going to go to the mission where you there's going to be a naked brother or whatever? You don't. I don't know. That's going to be.
Well, did people stream The Witcher? Wasn't there nudity in The Witcher?
Yeah, there's yeah, I think so, but I think it's I feel like in The Witcher
It's
optional,
butts?
right?
Oh.
Yeah, it is. They do show butts. I think that's okay.
Oh, butts are okay?
Video game butts are okay.
I mean, they're all cartoons. It's all cartoons, so you can't have real nudity, boy.
for sure that there was games that came out where you can change your character's penis size and it would show it, and Twitch is nope. So and Twitch is probably the loosest
Right.
as far as rules go.
But I think it's also interesting to note that while people are freaking out about it and everybody's having a good bit of fun talking about how you can add, everything that is available can be on what you could have boobs, but male and female parts and butts, and make it all the sizes that you want. I think that the takeaway here though is that in a way it's a positive thing because it's very inclusive and doesn't give you that, with the male or female gender option. Maybe somebody is I'm not here to speak on that. I'm just saying that maybe somebody is confused and they're not sure which one they want to identify with. You know what I mean? This is giving you more freedom to kind of mold their character into what you want that person to be. So, aside from the fact that you can hammer nails through hands and feet and basically crucify somebody, which is accustomed, or, contains screaming sounds and blood effects, that's a whole different ball of wax. But, yeah, this game, every time I see it, though, Cyberpunk looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be really fun to explore that world.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say is I didn't like The Witcher.
Me neither. But you know what? I heard that they revamped the combat system, their most recent big patch, and I haven't tried that. So maybe I should give it one more fair try.
I did, after watching the Netflix series, I did go and buy it on PC. I was like, maybe I'll give it, because I like the lore of The Witcher. It's very interesting. But the one like impressive thing that even I, not liking the game, appreciated from The Witcher is like the amount of depth that they put into the world is like insane.
Mm-hmm.
And this is supposed to be like, I think they've come out and said that this is going to be like not as big of a map, but like more focused on like the area that they have. And so like I just imagine that it's going to be one of those like, you know, there'll be people that will like you said in Celeste, where you're just playing that game, like there's gonna be people like find it's like, dude, I can't even leave like the bar because I'm, you know, like playing cards with somebody or whatever.
Right.
There's gonna be that in this game, I think, and I'm pretty interested in it.
Yeah, it is cool. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's do it. This next one's interesting to me.
Yeah. Apparently people are upset with the free games that they're being offered from Sony. The PlayStation Plus games this month, they're live now, right? They're active now?
Yes.
Is Farming Simulator 2019 and City Skylines PS4 edition. Right off the bat, I mean, the general consensus is that City Skylines does not run very well on the PS4, and the controls are cumbersome.
Yeah.
And it's not that great of an experience. Fine. I follow the City Skylines subreddit on Reddit, and I see people create stuff on PS4 that looks fantastic. So some people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
As far as Farming Simulator goes, I mean, when I read this, I get it, kind of, to an extent. But at the same time, it's like, are you paying the $60 a year to roll the dice on free games every month? Or are you doing it to play games online, and the free games every month are just kind of like a bonus? Because that's how I look at it. I look at it as, you know, Farming Simulator has always been like this fun thing to sort of talk about and joke about. And secretly, I kind of like want to see what it's all about. But I don't think I would ever spend money on that. So I'm looking at this as a positive. I'm like, okay, Farming Simulator, cool. But I guess people are pissed off about it. And 7,000 people at the time of the writing of this article have signed their name on a change.org plea to have the lineup changed.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it was changed.
See, I don't understand this one, because like I get that like maybe simulator type games aren't your thing, and like this month is that, right? You have City Skylines, which is essentially a simulator, you know, and this, but like this, like I've played Farming Simulator before. I have no interest in growing like what was the line here? It's like
PlayStation Plus members. Oh no.
Until then, we will remain saddened, left out, and let down in a lockdown quarantine nightmare. Simply growing corn.
Oh yeah, stuck in quarantine, growing corn. That's right.
It's like this. Like, I don't know. I played this game for not this specific one. I didn't play. I think I played Farming Simulator 17 or whatever was on the Xbox Game Pass. Me and my friends jumped into it and played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was like some of the most fun I've had in like a multiplayer experience playing. And like, to be honest, didn't even really do much of what the game was at. Like, I didn't really simulate that much of like being it's just a really
just getting a
fun,
combine harvester and start tearing ass around the place.
You can get like trucks, and there's a whole little city, and you can drive in and like buy stuff at the store, and like I don't know, like it I think that people are like, this is one of those things where they go, Farming Simulator, I don't want to grow corn. And it's like, that's not the game. Like, I feel like the game is so much more than growing corn. That
part of me feels like that somebody was like, oh my God, these games suck. Wouldn't it be funny if there was a petition, and they made a petition, and then it got like traction because like some butthurt, you know, people who belong to that vocal minority are like, this game is terrible. Like, motherfucker, you know that you haven't played it yet. Don't say it's terrible until you try it.
And the article also mentions, I think the reason they're doing this is because there was like earlier this year there was the Evolution soccer game.
They changed it,
that,
right?
like, they changed it, so I think that's why they're doing it. But also, if I like, it's been so long, I'm not sure. I feel like something happened with that game, like right before it was supposed to come out, and that's why they changed it. Where it was like, oh, like some of the teams that we wanted to play got taken out, and that was a huge part of the game, or something like something to that effect. Where like the game did something which caused people to be upset, which caused Sony to pull it and they replace it. But it's like I don't know, like expected, like they can't give away like Uncharted collection every month. Like I feel like that's just like a
I know they just had like this stellar like lineup of games that they gave out. Then they gave you 4 extra games for free without even being a member. And I say 4 because the Uncharted collection is
It's 3
3
games.
full fucking games. And I would say that Journey is the
yeah.
the light experience out of those 4 titles. Yeah, and I mean, look at some of the games that they have given away. Last of Us Remastered was free on PlayStation Plus. Rocket League, one of the best games of all. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't
I was
have.
just talking about like how crazy it is that I got Rocket League for free.
Yeah, me too.
Like earlier today, I was talking about that with somebody today.
And then
about how,
I went and bought it because I wanted it on the PC. So look at how that works out sometimes. But I mean, what did you guys want for
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus this month? Did you want Spider-Man and Horizon for free?
Yeah, like I feel like that's what people are going for, and it's like I don't know.
What did you want? God of War and like I don't know what the hell else they can give away that would just be. You want the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Is that the free game that you want this month?
Yeah,
Like, how about this? Take what they give you and appreciate it. Have some class and act like you've been there before. It's like,
yeah.
that's it. Next topic. I'm angry now. I have the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer, but if you want to get into talking about have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it. I feel like my biggest thing is, well, obviously we'll watch the trailer, but like, man, like I've never even played this game. Like I haven't bought the last few Mortal Kombat's, but every time they put out a trailer, it's just like I'm like, oh, this looks really good.
Here we go. Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. We don't really need the audio for this because the story is pretty convoluted, and I guess it's kind of spoilery for the story for Mortal Kombat 11, but at the same time, it's like people are talking about how great the story is this time around from Mortal Kombat 11. I'm like, yeah, it's great as far as Mortal Kombat goes, but it's so like ridiculous. That it's not a great standalone story. If it wasn't Mortal Kombat characters in here, people would watch this. Like, if it was anything else, if it was a movie or a TV show or a book, you'd just be like, what the hell's going on? Like, why?
It only works because it's Mortal Kombat, right? Like, and that there's been, now, 11 games or whatever.
But so here's the big deal. They got these new characters. Fujin, who hasn't, I think they said he hasn't been in a Mortal Kombat game it was some long ass amount of time. Shiva is coming back, which is cool.
Yeah.
This is very reminiscent, this game, of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 I had for Sega Saturn, was where I played that the most, where they were just like, yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 came out, here's like every character that's ever been in a Mortal Kombat game so far in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and I wish they would do that again. I know they got like licenses and this and that, but
They just do like such a good job of like, I feel like for this being a fighting game, like these trailers are just really good. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and it's so fun to play. Mortal Kombat is so fun to play, and then the guest character in this one is RoboCop.
Yeah.
So now
and I love how they address it in the trailer too. Like, We'll
What
get there.
they need some extra help.
Yeah, I forgot exactly. I haven't muted so.
Yeah, me too.
They say something to the effect of like,
You
"You
are
won't
under arrest,
believe
dirtbag."
what happens next," or something like. They like make reference to the fact that like we're about to do something crazy. She's like RoboCop, like.
Yeah. So there's that. They have some cool guest characters in this. Spawn is playable. Terminator, the Joker. Who else? That might be it
Yeah.
for guest characters. But now RoboCop's coming.
10 out of 10 trailer. That trailer, like, the quality of that trailer just shows you how bad the Xbox email was. Trailers
That's
above and beyond anything they showed.
So I heard this get brought up on another podcast. I want to bring it up here because it's just a very cool topic to bring up when we're talking about this. If there were no rules, what character would you put in Mortal Kombat specifically in this iteration?
Ooh.
And the best one I've heard was Blessing Jr. say Voldemort. That was a good that would be an awesome Mortal Kombat character. There's so many ways you can go. Like you could have like I was thinking like take a very popular fighter from like a different fighting game. You know, maybe like Yoshimitsu. You know, I was in Street Fighter and what's the other one? Soul Calibur. Not Street Fighter. I'm sorry, Tekken and
Tekken.
Soul Calibur. He's in both of those games. Just throw him in Mortal Kombat. See how he plays there. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But there's cooler things I think you could do.
I almost want to say I want to see because Mortal Kombat is so like violent. Like my like brain is going to a character that you wouldn't necessarily associate with being violent. So like,
Who?
you know, like Sackboy or something
yeah.
like that. Like a happy character, and he's just
Hey,
like,
I did say no rules.
yeah, like I don't know. That's where my head is kind of going, but.
What if it was something like Chuck Norris? Imagine Chuck Norris in Mortal Kombat. Actually, they should
Mike Tyson.
They should get Chuck Norris in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be sick. We gotta make that happen. Let's make a change.org for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the new Mortal Kombat 11.
John Wick.
Oh, there you go. Actually, why not Neo from The Matrix?
Yeah, you could go. There is that fan theory that John Wick is just in the Matrix. It's all happening in the Matrix.
Oh shit! You know, I've never seen John Wick though, so I should probably go watch those.
Like, just cheesy, fun, like over the top action.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question for you about number 6 on our list. This Cloud Tech demo rumors for PS5. This is just a tweet from like a rumor site, right?
Yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, I don't know if this is actually a thing. Like,
the tweet
around.
from PS5 only.
Yeah.
At PS5 only says PS5's new PlayStation Store user interface allows you to browse and try every game instantly, playable within seconds, with no traditional downloading required. No waiting before you decide to purchase the full game and download it as normal. And let me tell you what bothers me about this tweet. Above anything else, first and foremost, is that every word is capitalized, the first letter. And when people type like that, I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it makes me, it makes the tweet lose all credibility right there for me. Because it's written by somebody who, probably got hit in the head with a rock.
Okay, but also, have you just click on this Twitter profile? That pinned post, is that, a real thing?
DualSense controller shown in all black.
I don't like. I don't know.
That could be just a very good render.
And like if you go, but like they've tweeted even today, they're like talking about the controller and like
Yeah.
I don't know, like this.
Yeah, but they got one comment, 71 likes. Like this page got less than 4,400 followers. I don't know.
video has 67,000 views.
Well, that's something.
Like I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, because yeah, it could
Well-
just be completely fake or
But where's the source? Where'd that video come from?
is this from PlayStation 5?
Yeah, if you click on that, it's this other.
I don't know, man. Oh yeah, this is just.
Ugh.
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know
know what to-
either. DualSense. Full video here. Oh, I gotta be careful when I'm scrolling on this YouTube video.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know
I don't
what?
know what to from that.
While we were waiting for the official PS5 reveal, I made a 3D model of the DualSense controller. This model is not 100% accurate, as Sony released only 2 product images up until now. So yeah, it's a fan-made thing.
Gotcha.
I think it's the same guy who made. Wow, you know what though? I'm gonna throw this up on the media screen, real quick. Give me a second here. This is actually pretty interesting. Because what they've done, and if you're an audio listener, it's just a very, very convincing 3D model of the DualSense controller for PS5.
Yeah.
So it's an artist representation because they're basing it off of 2 photos that have been released. But look at like the detail in this. Are you seeing this?
It's crazy.
I mean, it looks pretty close to what this thing's probably going to... I don't know, man. The more and more I look at that controller, though, the more I'm like, this isn't so bad like I originally thought.
There's some part of me, though, that still wishes that like, leak a long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, that, like, it's like right around when the Switch came out, that, like, the PlayStation 5 controller was also going to, like,
Oh,
the handles were just going to slide off.
yeah.
Like, there's part of me that's like, I wish that was still a thing.
Yeah.
And like looking at this, the way they have the colors segmented like that, I'm like, oh, you could slide those off. That
Yeah.
could work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, look at this. See, if the PS5 looked like that console render that they're showing, I wouldn't hate that.
yeah.
I wouldn't want it to not
it's a
be able
bit-
to lay down on its side, but yeah, it's kind of chunk-a-dunk, isn't it?
Bulky, but whatever.
That would be great if it looked like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This artist is talented.
Yeah. The black version. Ooh, the light up. Dude, that's what I want. The logo to light up at the end.
Yeah. Oh, wow, now they got it looking like that this thing is in a actual glass case somewhere. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Whoever made that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the same guy that made the other mock-up before they had revealed the controller. Did you see that one where all the thumbsticks were swappable and the triggers?
Yeah. You could watch it on stream, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm gonna say that topic, the the tweet about the PlayStation Store. It was probably just blah blah
Yeah.
blah. People talking.
Just for like audio listeners, maybe just describe the tweet real quick. It says the PS5 PS Store user interface allows you to browse and try every game instantly, playable within seconds with no traditional downloading required.
Well, yeah, I
No
read
wait.
the whole tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
I
what it
didn't-
sounds like is what Google Stadia promised, right? Where you
Yeah,
could like kind of watch a game trailer and then be like, "Oh, I want to be in this game," and just start the demo, like no downloading.
Do that? Like that's not an option yet. They're like, it's coming.
Yeah, everything that doesn't exist yet is coming,
Yeah.
you motherfuckers.
I
Of course
remember-
it's coming.
That Google Stadia thing when they first showed it off, and it was like somebody was watching a YouTube video of a playthrough through Assassin's Creed, of Assassin's Creed, and then they were like, "Oh, I have this game on Google Stadia. Click play," and then where the YouTube video was, the game just booted up right there, like instantly. There was no like load time or anything. It was just like he was watching a YouTube video, clicks pause on the video, clicks play, and then he's playing the game now where the YouTube video left off. And like, this is going to be a feature. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Stop.
right. Those guys are dreaming.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But,
So that would be a nice feature, I guess. But
Yeah.
I like game demos, but I don't know about all that. That's a little much.
because didn't you're also asking like how many games have demos? Are they going to make is this going to be a thing that they're asking developers to do? Like, can you also make a demo that people can, I just don't see it. Like, I think it's too good to too good to be true.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that feature. At least not at launch. That's for damn sure. Maybe they can work on that. Anyway, the next one. This is all you, buddy.
This next topic, very heartbreaking, disappointing. EA is making a new Skate game.
What? This is what
know,
everybody's
right?
been waiting for. Skate 4, right?
No, actually. Oh, a remaster of Skate 3 on the new console? No,
Yeah.
not that either.
Oh.
Skate 3 on mobile.
It is Skate 3. It's not its own mobile game. It's Skate 3 mobile.
No, it's a mobile version of Skate 3.
So I'll try it, but I could see it. So the article is about how they contacted one of the skaters to use his likeness in the mobile version. And he's like, yeah, no.
He also said that
Call
the
me
same
when you
skater
start making Skate 4, right?
also said that there's a Tony Hawk game coming this year, which is like, I don't know that he's the one to know that has been rumored for a while that there's a Tony Hawk game coming, but like, I don't know, it's just super disappointing because I feel like Tony Hawk games haven't been good, so it's like even if one's coming, there's still that like, well, are they gonna do it right this time? And Skate like Skate 3 was good. Like it was a good game. And then they just stopped making them, and it's like it's a weird like it's just so
That's like EA kind of saying, that's EA making a statement that people aren't into skateboarding, therefore they aren't into skateboarding games, and I just don't think that that's true. I think skateboarding games have always been something that like supersedes the boundaries of just skateboarders playing them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be a skater to play a skateboarding game and enjoy
it's like
it.
saying, but like it's so weird because you'd think they know that because it would be like, oh well, you have to be a football player to play Madden.
Obviously, or else you wouldn't know what the hell you're doing. Except,
I don't know. There was also I almost linked two articles on this because there was another article that came out that was a reporter talking to somebody that recently worked with EA that basically said that internally EA is like, no, we don't want to make Skate 4. Like not that they're like working on it behind scenes or they're thinking about it, but they don't like they're completely against making a new Skate game for like consoles and stuff. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, I don't get it, but whatever.
wait a minute, you can't freeze people with your bare hands? Why do you even play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
we're gonna I'll try Skate 3 on mobile, but I guarantee that's gonna be downloaded and deleted in the same day.
It also just has a terrible track record with mobile games. They had like that Need for Speed mobile game that came out that they made you pay for gas for your car. You had to buy gas to fuel your car so that you could do races. It's like, so like I just have no faith in it. Like they're gonna make it weird somehow. Like I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see, I guess, what happens. I feel like if EA wants to make a shit ton of money, then they'll make Skate 4. And if they don't want to make a shit ton of money, then they won't. And that'll be that. Moving on, and to wrap it up for headlines, this one was just, I was going to show the trailer, but the trailer is really just a very, it's a short tease. But because Tiger Woods doesn't know how to conduct himself, he lost his place in the spotlight with the PGA Tour license. And who made those? Was that EA was making those? PGA Tour? Yeah, EA Sports.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah. So now it got picked up by 2K. PGA Tour 2K21.
Yeah.
And that was actually, they're using the engine from a pre-existing golf game, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it's Golf Sim, and we all know how I feel about golf sims. I love them, and I'm ready. I'm ready to try it. I can't wait till that comes out.
The only thing about this too is it's kind of the same thing with EA and like the microtransactions and stuff is like 2K makes NBA, right? Like NBA 2K games. And like recently they've like, and this is one where it's like I can actually speak on because I used to like every year it was like NBA 2K I would buy no matter what. Like, and eventually it just got to the point where like they loaded it up so much with microtransactions it was like unplayable unless you put money into the game. Like,
oh, really?
You had to buy different things, and so it's like I hope that it's not that. Like I hope that they don't do that with this, but it seems like it's so successful in 2K. Like it's like they keep putting it in, so they're making money off of it. Where it's like I could see them doing it for this as well.
That's a bummer. But I'm just kind of interested to see where they take the PGA Tour with a new developer behind it and see. These guys. I think what I heard is that the engine that they're using, I can't remember the name of the game, but they were like indie, and now this is like a kind of like a success story for them. Because they got the license.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm always down for.
Oh yeah,
I still want to try.
Golf it.
No, the Sony one in VR.
Oh yeah, Everybody's Golf VR. Yeah,
VR.
I want to check that out too. Yeah, I gotta bust out the VR. I've been meaning to play with that a little bit. I want to try.
I've actually been now that I don't have anything to do.
What's that one? Beat.
Oh,
Saber. Beat Saber. Yeah, I want to try that out.
I also really want Everybody's Golf and Tetris Effect.
Yep.
Top two. Like I really want to play Tetris Effect in VR for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I really do. I think that's in order. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that stuff. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? I always talk a bunch of shit and I never end up doing it. Hey man, that's it for headlines. We did it. We made it through another one. We didn't designate a big topic for this week, but I don't think we need it. I think we can.
Yeah, definitely.
We can probably just wrap it up here and.
Yeah, for sure.
Get this thing up on the YouTubes. I'm starting to run out of steam. Like I said, I've been up all day. I got up early to beat Final Fantasy.
I will throw out one thing.
Okay.
I tried coffee for the first time this week.
Wait, the very first time?
First time.
What'd you think?
Never tasted it before.
Really? How'd you drink it?
I got some weird frozen thing at Starbucks.
Oh, that's not coffee.
Hated it. It was awful. Too bitter. Not a fan.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I used to drink coffee that it might as well have been like dessert.
Yeah.
Because it just had so much milk and sugar in it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped with I like weaned myself off the sugar and just did like a splash of cream.
Mhm.
And now, you know, I don't fuck with no dairy at all. So I just figure why even waste my time. Like on the weekends, I'll put a little something in, like oat milk or something. But I drink my coffee black when I go to work. So if you said you got some frozen thing from Starbucks and it was too bitter, go ahead.
Cookie mocha.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Try drinking a cup of black coffee and tell me what you think.
Yeah, no, I like that's why I got this one, because people were like, well, if you say you don't like bitter, maybe start out with this and see what you think. And it was still like, I'm like, ugh.
It's like anything, though. It's like beer or anything that, like, sucks
Yeah,
at
like
first.
I don't like beer because it's like,
Yeah, it's gross. Nobody likes beer. They just get used to it. I'm drinking beer right now. It's disgusting.
I've had too much sweet tea in my life. It's like I just but they're like, we need sugar. Like, I don't know. So,
Well, wrapping up this show, I would say, you know, don't hate the player, hate the coffee. But I'm not going to say that because I love coffee. You know what I'm going to say to wrap up this episode? You got anything else you want to plug?
no, not really.
I think all we really need to say is Killer Metal Mike, if you're still in here watching, where's that Warp in Time video? We need that God of War vid. He teased it in the last one. Boy, bring us that new video, bro.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Well, do you ever stream on Twitch anymore?
Occasionally. Maybe I'm gonna do it more.
If you want to see some live stream action, go follow Pop That Baby Maker at twitch.tv/popthatbabymaker.
Yeah.
I'm at twitch.tv/markmoney, and this has been another episode of Don't Hate the Podcast, and we'll leave you with this one. Don't hate the player. Hate EA for not making a new Skate game.
God damn it, dude. It still hurts.
It still hurts. Hey, that's it. We'll see you guys. We'll see you next week. Normally I would play a song or something right here, but I don't have one, so we're just gonna end the stream like that. Peace.